Developer communication is hard. When you're working with dozens or even hundreds of complicated systems that all have to fit together nicely, you better have documentation about how everything works. And that's where Optic comes in. We always felt like if there was one part of development you could automate, it'd be making it easy to connect all your APIs and clients. The first step in this is to document every API contract. And you have to do this automatically, because if you make documentation a manual task, the docs will inevitably end up inaccurate and out of date. In Optic, you just add our library, and then you can run Optic API document anytime. It works with your existing API and your favorite frameworks, and the docs Optic writes are always accurate because it's learning the API's contract from observing its actual behavior. And we don't just keep these docs in the repo. You can run Optic API Publish to share them with your entire team. Optic's website is like the GitHub for your team's APIs. It keeps all the API docs in one central location, where you can search through them, ask questions of your teammates, see change logs, and even get notified when an API you depend on changes. And when it comes time to consume these APIs, having the docs is great, but you also need the code. And since Optic has accurate docs for all your team's APIs, you just have to run Optic API install, and a client library will be generated directly in your codebase. And when the next version of that API comes out, just bump the version in Optic, and we'll update the client for you automatically. It makes it easier than ever to keep the code between all of your APIs and clients in sync. So when you add Optic to your team, you get the simplest and most accurate way to generate your API docs. You get a central API hub that aggregates all of your team's documentation, and you get client API libraries that are always up to date. Yeah, developer communication is hard, especially out there. But at Optic, we're building a world where every API is documented and developers have the knowledge they need to do the best work. You can add Optic to your team today by visiting useoptic.com.